Alright, so saluting in, just paying respects to each other. Teachers of past, present, and future, just as an act of acknowledgement. Then we're going to step out to the right, starting with the 3 chi. So you're going to reach up, inhale, and then a longer exhale down through the body. Really push on all your air. Inhale, normal breath, a long exhale. Good. 2 more. Inhale, gathering the essence and down to the body, longer exhale. 1 more. The idea is reaching up, connecting with the sun, moon, and stars, smiling down over the body. Root into the earth like a tree, a longer inhale. Yeah, good. Try to fill up your lungs as deep as you can. Inhale, and then just exhale more. Inhale, exhale. Good. 2 more. Full inhalation. Oxygenating your body, filling your body with strength. 1 more. And soften and unify heaven and the universe, or universe and earth, to your heart, and open. This is the square breathing, or the box breathing. So it's inhale, pause, exhale, pause. So you can repeat that breathing pattern. Inhale, hold, exhale, relax. Inhale, exhale. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And 1 last one, put it all together. Relax. So a good way to practice that breathing is just to think you're going to take a nice big breath, inhale, and just try to find like a calm moment, and then exhale. And find a calm moment. So you know you got 2 moments in the front and the back where you can be, and usually that's a really important time sequence, is that pause. So again, a nice deep inhale, and then just holding but not with tension. Exhale, and relaxing without any tension. So yeah, you don't want to go and then hold it like in the chest. You just want to feel like you hold, exhale, hold. So this is really touted by the military. If you get on and you look at breathing in military, box breathing, square breathing is going to come up pretty quick. Good. Okay, so let's go on to the next part, which is the longevity set. This is just to open the joint. So we're going to do the 8 folds of the body, which is the wrist, starting with the wrists and the fingers. Now if you can, you're going to work on your breathing. Reverse, so you can either go back to just normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling, or if you can do the box breathing, that would be good too. And then elbows inside. And this is also kind of like a good place to do the gratitude, reverse, so thankful, whatever you can do. You have elbows. And then shoulders reaching out a little bit, crossing up over your body. Yeah. Again, just doing as best you can, just rolling the shoulders. And the important one on this one is to roll the shoulders backwards. Since the shoulders always want to come forward, pull back. And then see if you can isolate each one a couple times. Yes. And eventually you want to just kind of feel like you're almost like just backstroking. Oh, so we just join in there. We had the camera going right there, so maybe we got to get right there a little bit. Or we can move it if we need to.
This way?
Yeah, that's a good spot, if that's okay for you. And then just shake it out. Yeah. So we're just going through, just loosen up the body a little bit, so you can just try as best you can. Yeah, okay, so now you're just going to circle the head a little bit. Now with this one, you want to feel like you're lifting, getting a little bit taller. Lifting up. And then reverse, lifting, getting taller. Relax. Now, a really good one is just lift your hands high as you can and twist. And trying to just feel like it's just gently aligning your spine back. So you get a couple little pops, then that's a really good thing. I usually do if I do this. Yeah, so twisting is so good for this. This improves digestion. This does a lot of good things for our bodies just by moving like this. And of course the vertebrae. Okay, and relax. Hands on the waist. So your waist is below your ribs and to your hips. So my teacher used to say, be funny that people would move like this, forgetting that they have a waist to churn. And when you churn your waist, this helps with your digestion and everything. So see if you can put your hand on the love handles, and then you're just going to kind of move around. And the sound, if you need to make it just this sigh. And reverse. And at home, this is really good for you to encourage like a bowel movement. Keep everything moving through your system. And coming up. So that moving around, good, everything, everything begins here. The ancients have always said that. Now Western medicine even says it. 80% of your immune system is here. If you have a healthy gut, then you have a healthy immune system and all these things. So we want to make sure we're very regular, and all these moves really help with that. Okay, next, hands on the hips, and just circle the hips a little bit. This just lubricates the joints of the hip. And if you're sitting down, you can do like Jay. It's just a little bit of pelvic movement, and then reverse. And then the one that can go with this one, sitting down, is that sacral pump. So you're just going to kind of tuck your hips underneath, and you're going to tuck your head, and then you're just going to kind of stretch back like this a little bit. See if you can kind of arch the back of your chair, like you did that morning stretch, and then go back to tucking in this way. You're making your spine go open and close. Open, close. This is really good for keeping your hormones and circulation to move like that. A few more times. Open and close. Tuck the chin, squeeze. And one more. Open, stretch, perform it. And okay, and the next one is just going to work on the knees a little bit. So you can do this one standing or sitting. I think it was me that thought of it, but it's like, where's the term needy? So the knees are needy. They need lots of care and attention. Okay, so now see, you can just massage them a little bit on the top, and then around the back a little bit. If you're going to open your legs and get from the inside, this is really important to get some warmth and heat in there. Outside, and then just all around, massaging the knees a little bit. And then if you're sitting down, you're just going to hold out one foot, and you're just going to rotate the ankles now. And so this is really good. See if you can do clockwise and then counterclockwise 5 to 10 times. And if it feels like it's awkward, that's okay. Okay, and then switch to the other side. And if you're standing, this is a good little balance exercise too. Yeah, you can use the chair, whatever you need, and then eventually you can try and just get that ankle. And that gets a lot of good blood flow down if you have any neuropathy or anything, just things like that, opening and closing the toes. Now if you want to see if you're 1 in a million, take your right foot out, draw a clockwise circle with your foot, use your other right hand, and as you're drawing a clockwise circle with your foot, write the letter 6 or the number 6 in the air. And see if your foot can.
I can't do it.
No.
I think it's 1 in like 100 million. No, it's harder to pat your head above your stomach. It's almost impossible. So if someone can do it really good, because your foot's going clockwise, but the 6 goes counterclockwise. So as soon as you do that, your foot goes the other way with there. Yeah, it's really hard. Now another one that gave you. These are all really good things. I just seen a National Geographic at New York Times Square, and they could judge people how old they are by how long you can stand on one foot with your eyes closed. And so they had these different people getting up there, and they could only see their legs, but however long they could stay up was within a 5 to 7 year range. So if you can only stand for 5 seconds, between like 60 and 67. And so, but these are all things that Tai Chi and Qigong actually are really good for, is linking both sides of the brain together. So another really good practice is to see if you can make your hands go in opposite circles. One's going one way and one's going the other way. Try it for a few moments.
And start with one hand going one way.
Start with one hand, try it.
And then add the other.
I think you almost had to keep going. You're going the same way. Try it again, try it. This is, because right now, this is what happened, is this is improving your brain function, and it's like a game, so it's fun. And see, you get, okay, you got that one going, and see, you can pull that one back. Oh, you had it, you had it, you had it. No, you're going the same way. Uh-oh. Let's see, Jay. Come on, Jay. You should have this down by now. No, you're going the same way. You're going the same way. I don't know. You're going the same way. Yeah, so like Jay said, you start off going one way, this way. And then once that's going, then you go the opposite way. So it looks like that. I've had a lot of practice. But I thought this was cool to bring to you guys, that these type of things is what they're really finding to be highly beneficial now for our cognitive abilities, is these games. Even trying to do this would be a really good one for you. Yeah, anything where you're challenging your left and right, or brush your teeth one morning with your left hand, if you're right-handed. That will actually do really good for your brain. You might be sharper the rest of the day just because you stimulated that side of your brain. Okay, so now let's go into some of the Qigong. And probably one of the most beneficial one, it's symbolic that you're stress-free. So you're just going to breathe in, inhaling, lifting up, and then a long exhale out through the nose, letting any tension or stress melt into the earth. That's what my teacher said 100,000 times. Every time I do this now, I feel that anything that's bothering you, just let it go, melt it down into the earth. Okay, so that's the first aspect. The next one is we want to train our posture. So now when we lift up, feel like your fingers are attached to your organs like a puppeteer. And without lifting your shoulders, just lift up your organs inside your torso. So then you lift the organs up, and now let me demonstrate one time. Now as your hands come down, keep your organs up. So inhale again, and as your hands come down, it's like you're standing taller. I'm kind of exaggerating, but because see, if I let go of my organs, they drop. So the idea is I don't want to go like this and then just be back. I want to lift them up and then train to hold them up like that. Yes. Improve your posture, you improve your breathing, you improve your outlook. Good. Inhale, hold them up. And then so the symbolism would be then, as you inhale, you connect with your organs, you lift them up like you're standing proud, and then any tension, stress, worries are just falling to your side, and what's left then is you in this really good posture, state of being. Okay, let's do it one more time. Nice and smooth. Good, we're still holding them up. So my teacher said, if you look at the old statues of Buddha, he had this posture, and it was a sign that he was stress-free. And later they come and put little money, coins, and different things later. But originally, he was always shown in this posture. It wasn't the fat Buddha this way, it was this way. So it was symbolic that he did Wadajin, he did this exercise. And the name means prop the heavens. And so how that can translate in today's world is that it could be like support your community, prop the heavens, support heaven's work, be a soldier, support your country, support things. You're holding up the pillars of heaven in this type of symbolism. Okay, and the last part now, it has a healing sound called the he sound. It just moves through your body. Okay, so we're going to inhale up, stand tall, very good. 2 more. One more. Inhale up, nice and full. Big breath. Stand tall. Now, with any tension or stress, let it go down into the earth. Very good. And now, even this concept, my teacher was Native American, so he was very connected to the earth. And he said something that was really important. The earth is mother to us all. We can always give our pain to the earth. And he would make examples, like you look at an animal that's got hurt, they'll dig a hole and they'll try to lay in the earth a little bit more. Or if you ever had a dog or a pet, they get hurt, they'll try to hide from you and they'll go look where the lowest part is and you'll find them there. So this idea that we can give our tension, our negativity, and our worries, and our anger, and all this frustration, anxiety, fears, loss, and we can give it to the earth. That's why we bury our loved ones in that. So when we put things in the earth, it helps our body and it helps our mind let it go. It truly does. Okay, so I felt like I needed to say that for this class, that that's okay to give to the earth. Just recycles that, grows a tree over there. So there's no negativity, no negative energy to the earth. Okay, the next one is for the lungs, for sadness, grief, and loss gets trapped in the lungs. So the main part of this is just to open up the lungs, really is the main Qigong move of it. Okay, but it looks like you're drawing a bow. So I'm going to turn this way, Jay's going to face you, and we're going to go to our left side. So Jay's going to go to his right side. Like go to your other right side, yeah, because then it looks the same. And you're going to form this like cross with your hands. And you're going to take a breath in first. And now you're going to open this bowstring up, opening the chest even more. And as you let go of the bowstring, you're going to make this sound. So as you let it go, very good. You're just going to try to make the sound as best you can. So we're going to go to this side. We're going to form a cross. We're going to breathe in first. Now open up. Let's get that stretch, that full breath in. Good. You can hear that sound. Okay, back to the left side. The trick is to inhale first. Your normal breath, and that way you're making a bigger breath than you normal make, and you're opening the chest with the bow, and then let it go. Good, and then one more, other side. Inhale first. Biggest breath you can. Deep, 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 deep. Let it go. Very good. So like if you just hold like this, you're going to feel like you're just going to open something up. You're going to inhale. You're going to make the sound. One more time. And so that's the concept. All right. And so they would say if there's stagnation in there, that the sound might sound a little, it might sound a little broken up. Sometimes it sounds like a shh. You know, it's clearing things out, and that's what this sound is meant to do. So if someone's got the loss or sadness, or if someone smokes, this would be a really good thing to do all the time. Yeah, it's breaking up that stagnation in there, and so it smooths out. So if you do this, you cough up a phlegm or something, that's showing you how effective it is. And I've seen that happen countless times. Or I've seen people do this a few times and they start to cry. So all these things were around like 5,000 years, and they had really important symbology. So it seems like it's helping you. But the symbology here is also that arrow, letting go if there is some sadness there, putting in this arrow and letting it go, because that thought process of letting it go again is very powerful. So that being said, let's try it one more time. Okay, so back to the left side. Inhale. Inhale again, open up, and then let it go. And if you feel like you don't want to shoot it out to nowhere, then shoot it down into the earth and give it to the earth. Okay, inhale first. Open up. Shoot. next one we'll do is punching with angry eyes. So punching with angry eyes to build physical strength. So ideally, you stand, you can do it sitting too, and it's dropping the weight. It's like you're doing a squat. So as you use your major muscles, the hamstrings, your body starts to produce testosterone. So this will also give you some energy. This will pick up your energy. Like my teacher said, you're converting your anger over to energy. Okay, and so anger and frustration, resentment traps itself in the liver. How can a really good person be so angry, right? It's because we get frustrated. We see some things on the news that frustrates us, or things have happened we're resentful for, and then that eventually manifests as anger. Now, a good visual for this one is your liver is like a balloon, and most of our is walking around like this, and it's just waiting for any little thing to pop and explode. You know, you cut someone off in traffic and they just explode on you because their liver was already like this big. So the sound, in a sense, is shh, shh, shh. It's letting the air out of the balloon. That's one idea. And the other idea is, like my teacher said, this is to teach you your 3 lines of defense. Your first line is your eyes. You know, if you have really serious eyes, you can make people, do things just by the look in your eyes. And then your voice, shh. And so your eyes should go out, your voice should go out, and then your fist goes out, because your fist is the last one to use. Okay, so I'm going to turn this way, and we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to punch out to the right, making the sound. You got to go to the opposite side. Inhale, so stay on that side. And then forward right. Good. Forward left. Okay, then it's punch. 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 Good. Okay, we're going to do 3 fast. Now, the worst type of anger of the heart is when a loved one's hurt us. Okay, so at the very end, which is going to be the left, we're just going to kind of come up and go. And this is a really big, I forgive you, or I'm letting it go. Anyone that's hurt you that you've loved, you're just going to throw it down into the earth. Okay, so starting on the right, medium fast. It's also like you're going to stay in control. Take a deep breath. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 again, punch, 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 again, punch. Grab, breathe, let go. A lot of times you feel like a little fog. Afterwards, you feel like, whew, some of you guys need to go home and do some more, though. I'm not going to say who, but... Okay, so that one's really good. You can see that they all have this symbolism, and they have like this physical aspect. They have this symbology, and it all makes perfect sense. These exercises are so cool. Okay, and this one is called Touch the Toes to Strengthen the Kidneys. What holds itself in the kidneys is fears, phobias, and bad habits. The way to understand that is if you got good kidneys, the ancients always seen that you have good willpower. So willpower resides in the kidneys. So a lot of times say an example, someone might want to help someone lose weight or something, and they have really weak kidneys, and so they don't have the willpower to enact the process to stay within the game. A really good nutritionist or a master might help them build up their kidneys a little bit, and they actually sell products called Willpower that are kidney tonics. And that's been proven that once they get those nutrients and root vegetables and their endurance is a little bit more, now they can, follow like a regime. They can stay in a little bit longer. They don't give up so quickly. And also your physical energy. So with this one, though, we want to let go of any fears, phobias, or bad habits. Anything that hold us back, or again, it could be any fear that we have. And my teacher used to say, well, what's the fears that we get when we get old? Fear of not being able to walk, not being able to use our hands. People, when they get older, they have the fear of the darkness, being alone. So it's not always just like fear of snakes and spiders. It's things that you wouldn't even think when you're younger. And luckily, he was so wise and he instilled a lot of this knowledge into us. Okay, so if it's whatever it is, you don't have to say we're all different, but you're going to throw that out. And when you come back for one moment, if it's pain, if it's knee pain, and you come back, feel like it would feel like if you didn't have the pain. Okay, or if you throw out a bad habit of you smoking, come back and feel like how it would feel to be out in fresh air and no smoke in your lungs, for example. Okay, so we're going to inhale up, and the sound is the sway, like a dispersing water sound. Sway! Good, let it go. And you're going to inhale, and exhale as you gather energy up into your kidneys, and then you're going to just kind of straighten your back out and have a really good posture, and then return for a moment with no breath. And then breathe in. Now this one I mentioned last time is the ultimate practice. First level, holding the breath. If you're a martial artist, get the wind knocked out of you, you don't panic. Or maybe get in a car accident, the seatbelt takes your breath away, but you're okay. You don't want to start panicking. But also, of course, the last thing is to learn how to die in a kosher state of being. So the practice, the real deep esoteric practice is to, when you're breathing in, this is your last inhale. And when you're breathing out, this is your last exhale. And so then you just want to be in this quiescent state, this moment of just acceptance, okay? So see if you can practice that.
Only focus on the sugar culture.
Yeah, don't hold too long.
Yeah.
Inhaling out, gather, and then let it go. Good. Any fear or phobia, you don't want to take that with you. Breathe in last time. Breathe out. Straighten your posture. And real gentle with yourself. That's very good. You guys did it. I can feel it. You guys did a good job. My teacher, he did hospice for 15 years here in Las Vegas. And so part of our training was to listen to hospice stories. And trust me, a lot of people are very afraid to die because they, one that I always remember is this one older couple that were together for like 60 years. And the guy was really afraid to pass because he was very Christian and he had kissed another woman somewhere along his 30-year journey. And he was really holding on to that as a sin. He was afraid to die. He thought he was going to hell and everything. So the idea of throwing out your fears and your phobias like this is very important. You don't want to hang on to it when it gets to that time, trust me. Okay, one more time. Inhale it up. Gather. Let it go. Good. Circle in a beautiful, nice breath. And exhale. Last exhale, nice and beautiful, serene. Press out turtleback. And hold it nice and soft. So interestingly enough, every time you bend over, that's good for the eyes. It's really good for the kidneys. The kidneys are like pistons almost. When you bend over, they get squeezed out of blood, and then when you go back up, they fill back up. So anything that you have to reach down and pick up is a good kidney exercise. So you can see that all these exercises are very thought out. They have like symbolism, they have internal meanings, they have the physical movement helping you at the same time, so everything is movement. Now the last one today, because we're showing you guys these 4 ones, is called Jolt the Body to Shake Away Illness. So the idea of Jolt the Body is to make sure you land on bent knees. You can do it in the chair, but you're just going to let you can still do it in the chair. If you just kind of maybe just feel like your weight is just dropping. Right, and you want some kind of percussion, because this is moving the lymphatic system, this is stimulating the bone marrow growth in your body. This is really good for you, bouncing, as long as you're taking the pressure off your knees. Right. And if you're in between the chair, you can just kind of sit up a little bit, or you can just, just kind of stand up and just do a few, and just kind of, And this is also this last kind of idea of just like letting it go, right? Because we all do that. It's like, I'm done. It's all these moves are very powerful when we're doing them with intention. Okay, so just shake it out, and then you can just, and it's like the Qigong dance. Your body's hiding some tension somewhere, so you just let it go. It's like you just get that off of you. Yeah. Yeah, as long as everyone's doing it, then you don't look crazy. We're all moving together. Okay, so how we liking those ones? We liking
Yes.
the Qigong, right? Because they're so cool. They've been around for so long, and and we're just kind of scratching the surface. I've done these ones, and I've spent 2 hours on one exercise breaking it down, so it can go into a lot of depth later. Okay, so the last part now, we cleansed our body. We did these sounds. We let go of all our anxiety, our worries, our fears, our anger. And so now we're just going to do a real simple practice called the inner smile. Okay, so you're just going to hold your hands in front of your lungs. You take a deep breath and you're going to smile to your lungs, thank the lungs for all the wonderful things they do. As you feel, see and create a luminous white, fill in the lungs, allow your breath to deepen. And then feel the positive vibrations of integrity, dignity, and courage, like that are in your lungs. Courage, you've got courage, you take a big breath. Smiling down, beautiful lungs. Good, then we're going to come down to the kidneys and smile down to the kidneys, a beautiful blue light. Doesn't matter if you don't see it, just think of the color blue, or imagine like an ocean or a body of water, or blue, something that's in the room that's blue you can look at. Close your eyes. As you fill the kidneys with luminous blue, think of the positive affirmations of self-knowledge, self-confidence, wisdom, stamina, endurance, gracefulness, and fluidity. All these words vibrate strongly in the kidneys. Good, and coming up to the liver on the right side, smiling down, thanking the liver for all the wonderful things that it does. Feel, seeing, create a luminous green. And the positive vibrations for the liver is patience, kindness, benevolence, compassion. Beautiful, green, glowing. See yourself being very patient every place that you need to be. Good, and smiling into the heart. Thanking the heart for all the wonderful functions and things that it does, and smiling down the luminous red. And the heart holds on to the feelings and the vibrations of, or the virtues of inner peace, tranquility, and order. Everything is in the perfect place and time in your life. You're all meant to be here right now. We're all meant to be here right now. Everything is in perfect order. Therefore, your mind can relax and connect. Good, and then one last one, smiling down to the spleen in the stomach on the left side, thanking it for all the wonderful things that it does, and then feel, see, and create a luminous golden yellow now, just filling the spleen and filling the whole stomach area. A beautiful, satisfying meal, trusting, acceptance, the feelings of satisfaction, completion. Like you just had an amazing meal and just going to end with a nice. Okay, and one other little practice over here. Okay, and so now the idea with Qigong, at least in this practice, is that we let go of all those acquired emotions, those negative emotions like sadness and fears and anxiety and worry. And then we did like some living affirmations where we thanked our body. And this is really powerful. You know, the West now says the same thing that the ancients said, is that if you worry, you'll create ulcers and you'll create acid in your body if you worry. Just like we've always said, the heart is love. But the ancients have had these things in tune with their bodies all the time. So it seems really simple, but smiling in your body brings all these organs to life, and these emotions then stay with you a little bit longer. Okay, so now we fortified our body and our mind, so now we're going to create. So this is the 8 manifestations of energy. Energy gathers in a golden ball, so you feel it like a beach ball. Energy rises up. Energy expands. Contracts. Energy is always flowing in through our bodies and always flowing out of our bodies. All things that rise must descend, and all things that gather must disperse. Gather, inhale, ascend, exhale, expand, inhale, contract, exhale, inhale flowing in, exhale flowing out, descend, inhale, and exhale. One more time, feel like the energy's on your palms and it's really soft. Feel maybe a little bit of sensation in our hands, a little bit maybe? Yeah. If not, that's okay. It might take a little bit of time, and as you improve the circulation, you might feel that a little bit. But this one, the idea is that we've all heard what goes up must come down. You know, and so as you do this, this is actually teaching you like a big life lesson, which is we're all in this stage, you know. Energy gathers, you're born. You know, you live a life, you expand, or a business idea gathers and it rises up, expands, and then it hones into one idea. It flows in through distribution or production, throws out through distribution. Eventually the world starts to forget about it, and eventually dissolves away. And so the process of life is this exercise. This Qigong is really cool because it's one Qigong that says exactly what you're doing. Gather, we all do this as gathering. We all know gather a basket or whatever. Lift, arise, right? We all know that. Expand. Contract. Receiving. Giving. Right? Lowering, descending. Letting go, forgetting, dissolving. Showing you the process of life and everything within these practices. The more you do this, I always say be careful because this will make you a really good manifester. And then the things that you think about all of a sudden start popping up into your life really quickly. Because you're training your body. This is the process. This is called the 8 manifestations of energy. So it's been around for about 1,500 years. Now look in, you know, modern science and you'll find these same exact principles, and they've been around for a long time. Okay, so this one is a really good one. Just to now, almost like, you know, today I taught this one. We went outside and went to the park, and we did it for a few moments, and then we all were walking around the park, you know, because then it's kind of like the idea of moving in life, and then the process of creation and moving is all around you. So if you want to get out of your head, then do something for other people, or get out and create and draw, or do something that will get you out of your head. That's one of the really big secret or trick. Okay, and this last part is just to close and seal the energy in, so our hands are out. And it's like you're going to scoop into the earth and gather the wind, water, and soil. Reach up, gather the sun, moon, and stars. Cover that whole your whole body. And then back to that amazing meal, like you get to take this all with you. One more time, gathering the earth, gathering the heavenly bodies, cover your whole body, and then like an amazing meal, all back inside you. Swallow your saliva, seal it up. Stepping in with the right. And saluting out in respect to each other. Teachers are the past, present, future, and our place of practice. And then the last thing we do is we do this signature, and it connects us with all the masters of the past. So the left hand makes like a fist or a candle base. The right hand's going to go out in front. Gather the flame from your heart. Slide the wick down into the candle. And then what's the purpose of a candle? Is to spread its light.